dark.
Wait a minute.
What?
This is probably better. They haven't been hearing anything that we've been saying.
What?
I forgot to hit a switch over here. I'm sorry, guys. Wow. I
Wow.
can't believe I did that. That
Wow.
is like
Well, I honestly can believe that you did that. I can believe it.
the way things have
What?
been going.
Yeah, okay, so that just adds to how our day's gone, so we'll catch you up on what I've been yakking about. This morning, the alarm didn't go off, so by the time we realized what time it was, Oh, crap. I was super late getting up and getting around and everything, and I managed to make it to work on time, though, which I was shocked. We live it takes me about 35 minutes, about 35 minutes to get to the office where I work, depending on traffic, and I made it on time. I was so shocked at that. But I literally, instead of letting it get to me, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to make it. I stayed calm. I was proud of myself. Because typically I would be, in a panic, but I wasn't. So that was great. But yes, we met some amazing people. We were at a fair this past weekend, actually not too far from where we live, which was awesome because for the first time we didn't have to actually get a hotel room and stay, which, don't get me wrong, I love traveling to all the fairs we go to, but it was nice. Our youngest actually got to come home every night rather than stay the entire weekend with her, who she stays with while we're gone to these fairs. And yeah, met some incredible people. The people that you meet and have a huge impact on your life, the kind of people you meet, and just the simple connection that I felt like we made with so many people this weekend. It's truly amazing. Do you have anything you want to say about this past weekend?
Oh, it was amazing. We had it, of course, it always is. We always have so much fun at the fairs, and
what do you most look forward to about the fairs? So those of you who don't, okay, so maybe we should elaborate on what we're talking about when we talk about fairs for anybody who is not aware. Hey, Anne, thank you. She said, we can hear you. Oh my gosh. Sherry, hey. So for anybody who is not aware, when Jeremiah and I talk about going to the fairs and the traveling and this and that, we started about not quite a year ago. We both are super crafty with things that we make, and we decided to start selling them. We decided, you know what, let's give it a try. And so one of our amazing friends who we've talked about every show, Lena, she was able to help us get into one of the fairs she goes to that's in Kansas City, and we really connected with the people who run the fair, the Kansas City Metaphysical Fair. And the stuff that Jeremiah and I make and sell is, you sum it up.
Well, it's all.
It's a lot of it's a lot of different.
There's too much to really talk about. We sell all kinds of things. But as the point about it is, it's all handmade, and it's, our creativity and our life force and our energy going into it when we when we're crafting and making this stuff, and so it's just.
It's remarkable how it's evolved. Like the stuff when we the first fair we went to and the stuff that we were selling, just where we were and where we are now. Mm-hmm. And so that's really exciting to think where we will be.
Yeah.
And then the other side of what we do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, this is what you do, so you tell them about what you do. The fair side of things.
The what?
The readings.
Oh,
the
readings. I do readings. I do rune readings. For people who wish to have them, and just have a blast doing that. That is, quite frankly, it's an honor when someone opens up to you. And
well, I'm just always astonished at your ability with how accurate and how much validation you get with these readings that you do for people. Like, I genuinely mean that. Like, it's amazing to me. And speaking of fairs, okay, so our guests before we say anything else, what do we have to say? So we talked about somebody, the setup we have this time is a little bit different, and we met this particular person. Well, long story short, he is a very dear friend now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would consider him and his wife like family now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they're absolutely amazing. And it's his birthday today.
Yep.
And his name's Dave. And he is one of the most just, anybody who comes in contact with him, I can speak from experience. I'm sure you can as well. It's very impactful, and you're always learning from him. And he is all about helping people, helping the land, healing the land. You know, he's a Reiki master. Did I say that correctly? He's a Reiki master.
Yeah. I don't know if he's like certified master or not, but I know he does a lot with Reiki.
Okay, well,
So.
I think he is a Reiki master.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when he does, if you meet him in person and you allow him to do some Reiki on you or ground you or anything like that, it's intense. The first time he did it with me, it was like, oh, I feel like I'm being pushed into the ground, or I feel like I'm being almost lifted off of the ground, and it's pretty cool. But anyways, today's his birthday, and we wanted to wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dave.
Yes, happy birthday, Dave. May the next year and many more be as wonderful as it's been so far. So.
And thank you. We're already enjoying the stuff that you blessed us with.
Yeah, so gracious.
The second monitor in our studio setup tonight is immensely helpful. So
it is. It really is. It really is. But anyways, okay, so let's get right into it. So the guest that we are having on tonight, her name is Amber Edwards. There she is. She's so beautiful. And
they're not seeing her yet.
Oh, they're not?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'm just giving you she's a very beautiful person, inside and out, and she's gonna have a little baby.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, like, the very first time I saw her. We were at one of the fairs, and I just had this feeling about her. And typically when I get a feeling about somebody, I'm not wrong. I mean, I'm just, I pick up on people and how they are and everything. And I felt like I was pretty spot on with her, and we clicked right away, and we. I thought of her, and I thought, I really want to bring her on the show because what she does at fairs is so fascinating to me.
Right.
It's something that she does tea leaf readings for people. It's a type of reading, and when I say reading, typically people are going to think like tarot cards, or what other kind of readings would people associate with? There's so many different kinds of readings. Well, Jeremiah does rune readings. There's tarot readings. There's people who throw coins. There's bone readings. There's all kinds of readings that you can do.
Yeah.
And what you gain from it, the insight that you get. A lot of people, I feel, have a misconception about readings in general. I think a lot of people think that, ooh, that's scary, or ooh, I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to know. But in reality, most of the time, at least what I've seen from clients that you have helped and stuff like that, most of the time you're going to pull stuff out in the reading that they know to be true, but they might not want to be accepting of, or just kind of put it on the back burner, But yes, it's fabulous. And yes, Amber does tea leaf readings.
Yes. It's really interesting the way what little I understand of it and how it works. So
we're gonna call her.
Yeah,
we're gonna
go
get her on the
ahead
phone.
and get her on the phone, and here we go. Well, if I can get to my phone in time without it falling asleep, here we go.
Amber.
Hello.
Amber.
Hello, how are you tonight?
Hey guys, I'm so good. How are you guys?
Doing great.
We're so happy that you
Awesome.
We're so happy. We're honored that you wanted to come on, and I'm really grateful.
I am totally honored that you guys thought of me or asked me.
That's
I
so
still don't know
awesome.
why, but here I am.
Well, I mean, I think you can relate to that. Like, you and I we clicked. Like, when
Totally,
we
that
met,
was completely accurate.
when we met, and then, do you remember the first thing I said to you?
Oh, jeez, it was a crazy fair. Remind me.
It was about your pregnancy. Do you remember now?
Yeah. Oh man, I love that you're putting me on the spot like right out of the gate. Thank you.
Like when we were
Right.
when we got to the fair and we were setting up, and I looked at you, I was like, "Oh, you're having," and you were
Oh
like,
yes,
"Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah."
yes, yeah. No, well, that was the first of many accurate
That's-
predictions you made about my life that
That's
weekend.
true.
So
That's true.
yeah, it was a trip. It was a trip meeting all of you guys.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
That was
amazing.
awesome.
You know, and then it's like you meet people, and then it's kind of like, wow, where have you been all of my life?
You guys
You know,
have meant so much to us ever since. I feel like I've known you for my whole life.
Right?
I feel like we got real personal real quick.
Yes.
But it was very beneficial for everyone involved. So
Oh,
thank you
yes.
again
Absolutely.
for your friendship and everything you did that weekend, and for this podcast. I think it's awesome for the community to have something like this. I'm proud of you guys. I'm so excited.
Thank you. You know, I really felt like I took a leap with doing this podcast with Jeremiah
did,
because
and it's
because I'm like,
exciting.
you know, I just get super nervous with
Well, you
the
never
idea
know.
of, you know, people watching and whatnot. But I've just kind of accepted, like, hey, I'll just do me.
You're a
And
natural.
I'll just do me, and then whoever likes it, awesome. And if somebody doesn't, then oh well, they don't have to watch, right?
Oh, right.
Okay, so
Oh.
first off, like, I have really, because what you do is so fascinating to me, and I'm not really 100% like,
Sure.
You keep going. I'm
So-
gonna go try to settle down our little heathens out here.
Hey, I totally get that.
Right,
life. I'm
right,
like, waiting
right.
for mine to burst in at any second.
oh my goodness.
But so tassography is like an ancient form of scrying, and it began in ancient times. It's kind of disputed as to when because it's just so old. It kind of predates
Right.
everything.
Right.
But it started with coffee grounds. They would the way coffee was made would leave grounds in the bottom of your cup when
Oh,
you were
wow.
finished, and they would just take things from what the symbols that they saw in their coffee grounds, and that's really how it started. And then it kind of just evolved into tea leaves.
Wow.
And while I didn't get the honor of actually meeting my grandmother, she was obsessed with tea leaves and teapots and all things tea. And my mother actually inherited her teapot collection, and then I did, and that just kind of sparked this interest.
Wow. So it's kind
in
of like an
her.
heirloom. It's kind of like an heirloom.
Yeah, it was. I
That's
do
awesome.
really feel like I am like, you know, I do feel like I'm honoring my ancestors' memory by carrying this practice on.
That is so
I definitely
awesome.
plan on teaching my kids
Yes,
who, you
that
know, have
is
an interest,
awesome.
and you know, and like I said, we have this awesome teapot collection that's just like a reminder of all of that. So I looked into it, and it clicked. Something just really hit. And what's funny is I've been pagan for over half my life,
Okay.
and I've tried every form of divination, as we do, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I've dabbled in this and that, and honestly, nothing has ever clicked like tea leaf readings for me.
Wow. That is amazing.
So I just knew, you know, that feeling.
Oh,
when
yes,
everything's
I
going
do.
Well.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely. And I know
you also,
Jeremiah.
I'm sure you felt the frustration when it's not, and I was just always
Yes.
really frustrated. I was like, you know what, divination's not for you, Amber. Everyone has different talents. You know, in this on this journey that we're all on, and
Yes.
it's okay. I have 1,000 friends that read, so I'm not in any short supply of finding out about my future.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I'd be like, da, 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 all right, enough to a lot of friends. Like, I don't want to know.
Right. Well, you
But,
know, I gotta say, like, tea leaf readings, that's not like a common one you run into. I mean,
No,
the
it's
fairs
not.
that we have
It's
gone
a dying
to.
art, really. And
Yes.
so I'm excited that you guys wanted to talk about it because
Oh,
if
yeah.
nobody knows about it, look into it.
Absolutely.
It's super easy. And what I do is I really put myself out of business because I don't really do tea leaf readings as much as I help you read your tea leaves. You know what I mean?
Okay. You kind of
So I
guide
send
the
them home-
way.
yeah, I send them home with the cup, some loose tea. I'm like, you do it. I want to empower people to read for themselves on
Right.
this level and to like teach others and have tea parties and like do it with friends. And
Right.
it's such a cool, fun thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's easy. And I think people just overthink scrying in general because there aren't a lot of like set in stone rules.
Right.
Right.
Well, hey,
It's largely about gut feeling, which I feel goes hand in hand with heathenry and my personal spiritual path, our personal spiritual path also, you know,
right.
is so much of it is like, well, we don't have a lot of written things to tell us exactly what we're supposed to do. You know, a lot of
Right.
it is just like gut feeling and your clan, your kindred, like who you're around and how you guys feel about that, you know. I feel like divination is the same way. There's too many like little rules and things that people feel like that they are just really stuck by instead of like helping them. They feel like stuck in a rut by these rules. So I just encourage you to keep looking for that that way that works for you, because it doesn't have to be, tarot cards or runes. There's so much more out there than pendulums, cards, and stones.
Well,
Right.
that's what I was getting ready to say. It's like, from your perspective, being a tea leaf reader, so what would somebody gain from getting a tea leaf reading compared to like a tarot reading? Or
I feel like it gets really personal, because again, I don't have any definition holding me
Right.
in any spot on any card. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
have, so we can like move about the cup kind of freely, and largely, like I said, I'm helping you, so it's your interpretation, and I'm just lending my energy and helping you and telling you what I see, bouncing it off of you, you're bouncing it off of me. That's
Okay.
why this divination is done largely in parties. Like in Victorian times, they would have big tea parties, they would do
Wow.
scrying, and they would and what's so beautiful is you pass the cup around, and these are a lot of times your sisters, your friends, your family, whatever. They know you. They might even have some insight on your situation, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. It's a lot of people are like, oh, it's cheating. Well, it's not really. You want everyone's perspective. Like, what do you see? Oh, wow, yes, I see that too. That means this to me. Oh my gut, it instantly goes here whenever I look at this symbol. It's like, do you
Yes.
see what I see? Yes. Oh my gosh, it's there. It's a fun thing to do in a group. You don't have to. You can definitely do it privately for yourself, no problem. But you do have that option of doing it in a group, and I feel like that is different from any other kind of divination.
Oh yeah, so you kind of like are
Everybody's
encouraging.
input
You're kind of like
counts, because we're all
encouraging
going
every.
from the gut.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and you're like encouraging people to use their own intuition.
Exactly. That's what I desperately want, is to awaken the intuition that lives in all of us. I don't have anything special in me, Stephanie. I don't. I would love to think so.
Oh yes, you do. Oh yes,
Come
you do.
on, Amber.
Oh yes, you do, Amber. You
guys
have
are
a
too
baby
sweet,
in your belly. You have a baby in your
Okay,
belly.
true,
That's special.
True that. Which definitely
Sorry, I
feel
had to
like
say
has
that.
heightened my energy on this, but that's a whole other show, I think.
Yes, yes.
But I feel like everybody can and should do this for themselves if they're interested in knowing your future. Kind of take it by the reins, and
What would
find
you
out yourself.
say? So like, what would you say to people who are like really skeptical or like fear, like have a fear of wanting to do divination and stuff like that?
Fear is really deep seated. That goes again. That might be for another show, because I feel like a lot of that comes from our like religious upbringing, and or just the Christian moral values that kind of our society is like wrapped around.
Right.
It's embedded in us that this is wrong, when really I don't subscribe to that moral code. I don't think you guys do. I don't think a large part of the society these days does anymore. It's very like a dated kind of thing, but we are still suffering from that mindset because it was largely
Well, it's
brainwashed
ingrained.
into us in a big way.
It's ingrained
and
from a young
then
age.
embraced by all of society. So it's more than just what your parents taught you. It's like, then you go out in the world and you have to deal with everyone else's judgments on what you're doing, and they come from this totally different place than you, some Abrahamic religion or just a different moral code altogether.
Right.
And so I don't know. I don't push very hard for people like that. Now, it's different if you're skeptical. If you're skeptical but like into it and want to know, bring it.
I
Let me
know.
read for
It's
you.
like, yes.
Let
Let me
you to read.
let me show
Let's
you
do it.
what.
Let's have a little tea party.
Yeah, let me blow
But-
your mind. So do you think that
But fear is different. I don't push people who are like scared for
Right.
religious reasons very much, because I get that, and it's like, you know what, you do you.
yes, absolutely. I like that mindset. I like the mindset that if somebody, I like how you just said that, if somebody's skeptical, bring them on. Come on.
Yeah,
let me
that-
show you what
that
I can
doesn't
do.
bother me
But
one
the
bit.
fear, I appreciate the fact that if somebody does express a little bit of fear, that you're not super like, well, just give it a try.
Right.
Like
I mean,
you
I've
feel
definitely been guilty of
yeah.
a little
Well,
peer pressure
I'm
here and there,
sure-
because I am so gung-ho about all of this. But really, at the end of the day, it's like, I want that same respect, so we're gonna show
absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
I have a quick question for you, Amber.
Absolutely, Jeremiah.
So you mentioned, well, we just talked about it. Talking about the skeptical people. Bring them on.
Right.
You actually kind of enjoy that challenge.
I really do.
So I want to know if your experience has been kind of like mine in that regard, in the fact that the vast majority of the time when I read for someone that's very stoic and very skeptical, they're generally the ones that are the most blown away by the accuracy of the reading.
Mind-blowing readings I have ever had are with those like charismatic Christian like skeptics that are just like, this is not real, and then we just and then we do a reading and they're blown away. That is the best, and I think that's the draw. I think that's what I like about it. It's just like something really comes through in a big way, and we have to get that from somewhere, that feeling in our spirit of like accepting the challenge again. I think it's like a very heathen thing. I don't know, maybe it's not, but I think on our spiritual path we are like, you know what, bring on that challenge of somebody, because we're just we're used to that
oh yeah
that argument.
So
that
speaking of,
we run into it on so many facets. Why would divination be any different?
Right. So speaking of like challenges, okay, so you love doing these people, reading these people, doing readings for these people that just are like, I don't believe this, whatever, and then you blow their mind. Well, so from your perspective, how do you feel like, have you noticed growth for yourself, like personal growth for yourself, how long have you been doing these readings?
Absolutely.
Like professional, like I will call it professionally, like you get paid,
professionally, not long, honestly. I did it just for friends and myself for a long time before I felt empowered enough to do it for other people.
That seems like a common theme with readers.
Yeah, yes.
It really does.
So side note, I have a little business called Heathen Housewives. You guys know about it. And really all I did was vend. I didn't read for years, literally like 3 years. I went to the psychic fairs. I vended very much like you guys, handcrafted things, just, witchy stuff, supplies, metaphysical stuff, divination tools, all that.
Right.
So, out of nowhere, I started selling these tassography kits. Again, I was into it, myself, but it just started with people not knowing what it was or what to do with this teacup, this little book, and these loose tea leaves.
So that is what I was going to say, will you explain?
So I began to show people, and next thing I know, I'm reading at psychic fairs.
Right. Well, Amber, can you do me a favor?
It really just started as me trying to sell a kit. And I was like, no, but wait, this is really cool. Right. Like, check it out.
So can you explain one more time? Like, can you say that word again? To
Tassography.
Tassography.
Yeah, give it a Google. It's fascinating.
How do you spell it?
TASSEOGRAPHY. Oh, I'm so glad I could manage that.
Okay. Yes, I am too. And yeah, because I just, I've found that the vast majority of people that have watched our little podcasts and stuff like that know what we're talking about, but you never know who isn't familiar with it.
Right.
And so many people don't. Like, so many very seasoned practitioners are like, what are you doing? It's kind of cool. It is very like an unknown thing, so I'm excited. It's catching on though. I've taught a couple other readers that are now doing it professionally, so I'm not the only game on the block anymore.
Hey, but
I love to make my own competition. I don't know what that's about, but
well, and the thing about it is, at these fairs, that's like at the fair we were at this weekend, ironically enough, Jeremiah, he was doing his rune readings, and then literally the table right across from us was a female doing rune readings, and their reading styles were very different, but the thing about it is, her and I talked about it, and whoever felt more drawn to his energy would seek him out, or whoever felt more drawn to her energy. And it's all about,
there are definitely times that I prefer a man or a woman. I don't know why. I'm just drawn to them,
Yes, and the goal is to help people. I mean, the at the root of the goal of what you guys do is to help people. And that's really what it boils down to. I mean, yes,
truly,
you have to pay bills, and I've always had the belief, if you're good at something, don't do it for free.
Right, and our time is valuable, and I personally, I mean, they don't go home empty-handed. Like I said, I totally set them up to read themselves. I love to put myself out of business. Right.
Well, so another thing is, you kind of have gotten into your routine on how you do your readings, and so
sure.
Are other tea leaf readers, is it something they kind of can interpret on the way they do their own style of reading, or is it kind of like tarot cards where
I'm seeing that happen? I mean, what I do is literally like a word of mouth kind of passed down version from my grandmother, so it feels very right to me. But some people are reading in books and whatever, the internet on how to do it a different way, and that is working for them. The beauty of scrying is the lack of rules when it comes to that sort of thing.
Right.
It's like whatever gets the job done. Because if you think about it, it's truly divination out of necessity. It's like we have nothing else here. I have some fucking I have some tea leaves.
You're all right.
You're fine.
I have some tea leaves. Like, I need these answers. Like, let's make this happen,
Yeah.
And again, that is just, it really speaks to heathenry in that way, because we were travelers, we were all over the place, we didn't
Right.
always, you don't always have your cards and your handkerchief and your sage smudge and your candles to like set the
Yes.
mood. Like,
Right.
sometimes you just have some hot water and some tea,
Right.
like,
Yes.
so let's figure this out, or coffee, or whatever. You can even use dirt and mud, and just like, it's anything really that can leave a residue after liquid is in it. It's just, the rules are so few and far between in reality, because it is so ancient. Again, those ancient things, we just kind of lost all that along the way, and
Yeah.
we rely on our gut, which I personally feel is the knowledge of our ancient ancestors lives in our gut feeling. Where else do these things come from,
Absolutely.
So I just let myself be guided in that way, and I do feel like it's my grandma in a big way. 'Cause
Oh, and it
this all
probably
stems
is.
from her. Yeah.
It probably is. She's
Right.
probably
So I
so
do
proud
it my
of you.
way, and thank you. That means a lot. And so I do it my way, and a lot of people do it their way. Of course, there's a motorcycle right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Nope,
I
you're
thought
fine.
the porch would be somewhere quiet. 'Cause my toddlers. Yeah, right. My neighborhood is very noisy, I'm realizing.
So,
But
okay, so I have another
so no
question.
rules. I'm
I love
I'm happy
that.
for whoever wants to do it, however they want to do it, however they get the job done. More
I
power
love
to you.
that. So do you, okay, so like Jeremiah, like when he does his readings, like there's different styles of reading depending on how much insight you want.
Right.
Is it similar? Like, do you have just one
I can
style
just
of
spend,
reading?
well, it's about time. I can spend like a
Okay.
long time on one cup if I really
Okay.
have it. And on the same token, I can just do a quick like reading of just what I see, like the larger things. If you really stare at these, tea leaf grounds, and you get into it, going smaller and smaller and smaller with your symbols and things like that, you can have hours long readings,
Wow.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
or you can just simply look, and I can tell you like this and that and the large. Oh my God, seriously. And the things that. Oh my God! No, my other neighbor's yelling at him. Oh my God.
It's all right. Life happens. It's okay.
So, anyways, yeah, it's it's about time. I can spend a lot of time or a little time.
Okay.
There's
Okay. Is it
so
something
affairs.
that
It's generally just like a 20-minute kind of thing.
Okay.
Right.
Is it something that people like, if they focus on wanting an answer for something, or is it more of a guided?
It's just like any other divination. I can have a broad spectrum kind of reading over just my general direction in life, or I can come with a very, very specific question, right down to yes and no. I mean, we can
Oh,
get
wow.
down to yes and no
Okay.
if we need to,
Right.
for
Okay.
sure.
So when you do readings for people, can you do them over the phone, or do you have to be present?
I can, but it's really a lot better, I have learned, if I have the person there actually drinking out of the teacup. For some reason,
Okay.
that really, I have found that makes a difference. In a pinch, I really can. Normally, if it's an over-the-phone thing, I might just grab some oracle cards or maybe my runes or something. But I have done long-distance tea leaf readings. I find them very chaotic. I don't know if they're just picking up a lot of energy around, but it's hard to focus in. It's easier to do like a broad-spectrum reading long-distance than it is very specific questions over
Right.
the phone. I just kind of need to vibe. I think it's me. I think I just need to vibe.
Well,
with
no,
people.
I don't necessarily think it's that's the case, because I see the same thing with my over the phone readings.
Yeah.
It's just more difficult to.
It's just a little watered down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more difficult to focus the energy.
Right.
So, normally in one of my, like you have someone take a drink out of the cup, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
At an in-person reading, and normally with my readings, I'll have them, take, my bag of runes.
Exactly.
And rub it around in their hands a little bit, just to get their energy flowing through the situation.
Exactly. It seems that matters. It really does.
Yeah, and it's a lot more with an over the phone reading. It just seems to me anyway a lot more.
Right.
not impossible and not really
no,
difficult.
It can be done.
It's just
it's chaotic.
it's just it takes a little bit more focus to
Definitely.
focus the energy down.
Right.
So
right,
it must
to get to
it
that
must
answer.
strongly depend on the type of like reading you're doing, because a couple of the vendors that or the readers that I talked to, they said they prefer over the phone. Like
That's
they
interesting.
prefer
I'm
not
not sure why
having
anyone
a
would
person.
prefer that.
You know, I don't know if it has to do with getting distracted or focusing
Maybe.
on their
And plus,
their
like, you're in your own space.
expression
Like, I don't know.
or-
I think I get too comfortable. I think that's part of my problem. But some people need that comfort, I guess. So, I get readings over the phone from a woman in Iowa. She's amazing. And and hers are always spot on. And she really likes her own setup, like on her own bed, in her quiet, like, sacred space of a bedroom, that she has made. And, like, I feel like that matters to some people a lot. I don't know. I kind of thrive off the chaos of a fair. It makes me hone in on that person I found.
Right.
I don't know. I love the whole process.
So do you... Okay, so like Jeremiah, with his runes, he personally uses when he does his readings. Do you have... I think you said earlier that... Do they take their cup with them?
Yeah, I send them home with their cups, some extra loose tea leaves, and the general know-how of what to do.
So when you
I
do...
also sell a kit. Like, if they don't get a reading, I sell loose tea leaves, a little book, and a cute teacup and saucer, basically. And a
Did
little
you
kit.
Did you write your own book on
No,
how to do
I
it?
should though. I
You
really
should.
should.
You really
Yeah.
I
should.
I found a cute, tiny little one, but yeah, that may be next. Who knows? Who knows? I've been toying with the idea of a book. It's so
Yeah,
funny you
I
said
mean,
that.
I
Quit
know
it.
that-
Stop it. We're on the show. Can you wait like a little while?
We were. I want to
You
bring.
guys read me later, okay? not in front of everyone.
I want to come back around to the focusing the energy long distance.
Yeah,
just
sure.
right quick, because one of our viewers just commented, and she's a good friend of ours, and I remember having a conversation about this before. But she actually prefers doing. She's a reader, and she prefers
Cool.
doing long distance readings over the phone or online.
It's so interesting to me.
Just and if I remember correctly, she said it was because she doesn't have the distraction, and it's just it's easier in that setting for her to focus her energy. So
Well, there you go.
it
Yeah.
probably has something it probably just has as much to do with personality and
Totally.
how
totally.
we actually receive energy as much as
Right, I'm a
anything
total
else.
extrovert, so I mean, I get it. I totally get that. I get that.
That is so neat. So
Stop.
do you do readings on yourself? I mean, like, do you do readings
Not
on yourself?
often.
Can
I'm
you?
spoiled. I'm spoiled. I can, but I'm totally spoiled because I'm surrounded by you guys. So
Hey,
you know what I mean?
hey,
Like, I know
I do.
1,000 readers.
I do.
I get readings
I do.
from like 16 different directions.
I do.
um,
I'm married to a reader.
Exactly. So I've just gotten lazy. Really, I don't really read a lot for myself. I should, but I don't.
Okay. So people, if anybody that watches this and is curious, because one of my main goals for this entire podcast is connecting people to our guests that need what you do. Am I explaining that right?
Mhm.
So, like, what
Sure.
like you offer these tea leaf readings, anybody who's curious about it, or just, maybe we'll, like, do some research or check out what tea leaf readings are all about, aside from
Yeah.
what all you've explained, and then be like, you know what, I want to try that. I want to give that a try.
And I'll
That's
send a
fascinating.
link and I'll send a link to my website. That's
Okay.
where you can get a hold of me, or you
Yes.
can totally add me on Facebook, and we can message. And we
Yes.
can set something up. you
Yeah,
know?
Yes.
we'll put that up in the. I'll add that to the post
Perfect.
after the show. So
Excellent.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yes, I have absolutely loved this conversation, and
Thank you. I have to shout out
I-
my kindred too. I feel like that they've really empowered me on this journey.
Yes.
Like I wasn't like very confident in it at all until I met this group, and now it's like a whole new ball
So-
game. It's just like Confidence City.
No,
These
you're
people are
fine. No, that's
amazing.
awesome. So do me
my
a favor.
husband was also super supportive. And
Your
it takes,
husband
like, a
is awesome, by
team.
the way.
yeah.
Yeah. I love
Bryce is
you.
awesome. So
Yeah.
do me a favor, and just like I said, for anybody watching who, like, you use the term kindred, like, explain kind of what you're talking about when you say that.
the only thing I can really compare it to in mainstream life is a church. It's just a group of people on the same spiritual journey as me, on the same path. We're traditional, like also true, and we try to stick to like a traditional kind of lifestyle in that manner. Like we have a chieftain and we have a seer, and there's like ranks and there's rules, and it really helps me like to work in that sort of platform because I just feel really supported, and yeah, they're just amazing.
That's awesome.
They're just there for like
That
any
is
advice I
awesome.
need. I go to them, and
So
like we
you-
have a seer, and he reads cards and chicken bones, and like he's amazing also. So
We need to
Uh-huh.
ha-
I
we
get a
need to
lot of
have.
inspiration from
I
Elvis.
was gonna say
Right.
we need to
And,
have
Yes,
him on.
and
we need to have him
Catherine
on.
and Cliff's our
Yes.
chieftain, and he's just like the most selfless person I've ever met. He just wants to see us all succeed. He's always cheering us on. It's just nice to have those people in your corner.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I
I
So
totally
couldn't be. I
understand
wouldn't
that.
be where I was without them. That's for sure.
So you guys fully do get and exercise the concept of a tribe.
Absolutely, and we right down to we have a kindred and then a clan within that kindred. So, and there's a whole hierarchy, and it's amazing to be a part of. Just like a deacon in a church or anything
Yeah.
else. you see.
Right.
It's just a network of support, but through my spiritual path, our spiritual path.
Right.
Right. Okay,
Very
so
cool.
I'm gonna
Very
put
cool.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, Amber, because Jeremiah and I were talking
You
about this,
love
and I
it.
always
Go for it.
I always like forget one. But the 9 noble virtues, like you guys follow the 9 noble virtues, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Don't you dare.
Okay, well, see, so let me go, and you tell me what I'm missing. Okay, we'll
Okay,
try it that
okay,
way.
okay.
So
Okay,
let me
that-
see if
that
I
might be
can.
better.
Let me see
Okay.
if I can. Let me see how I do here. So we've got courage, honor, trust. I don't know if those are fidelity.
Loyalty, hospitality, discipline.
Okay, loyalty, hospitality, discipline, industriousness,
Yes.
self-reliance,
Self-reliance. That might be the same one.
Perseverance.
perseverance.
Yeah, we're way past
Industriousness.
9, so I think we're repeating. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we
Okay.
nailed them.
Okay, yes.
Thanks for the help. I would have left them out for sure.
Yes, but I just
But that really, that's a great point to bring up, and I'm glad you did. I would have forgotten, but that is what I go back to every time someone is like, "Oh my gosh, your path," and the word heathen is off-putting to mainstream society, yada yada, whatever. So I go back to these 9 noble virtues, and I was having the discussion with my mother a long time ago. My mother's awesome. I'm super supportive now of everything I do. But in the beginning, it was off-putting for her Catholic little heart to see me raising her grandkids in this journey so openly and just the way that I do.
we can
Right.
we can relate to
Yeah,
that.
we went back and forth for a long time, and it boiled down to I opened up this little thing I have, and it's like a little pocket altar, and it had the 9 noble virtues, and I said, "Mom, just read these," and she did, and I said, "That is what I live by." That, and how can it be wrong? And she agreed. She says, "No, there's nothing wrong with this."
Well, a lot of times,
And it's been super peaceful ever since, because
There
how
you
can you
go.
argue with any of those
Well,
things?
you know-
As a society, we've lost the view on so many of those
Right.
things, and they're very simple.
yes,
It's
and
not a complicated lifestyle.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
really
And
not.
that's
It's
that
beautiful in so many ways because of how simple it is.
exactly, and that's something that on kind of on a different level, but that's something very close to what Stephanie and I were talking about the other night.
Yeah.
It seems to me like the whole. I don't know if I was ever had the actual chance to get this point out or not, but the whole the society in general has lost connection with what it means to be part of a tribe or part of a clan.
Absolutely.
And that
It's every man for himself, and it's super sad. 'cause,
Exactly,
man,
it
you can go so
really,
much
really
further with
is.
some support from some like-minded people. Let me tell you from personal experience.
Oh,
The
yeah.
wrong group of people can be just as detrimental. I've had that end of the spectrum too, as you guys know.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was a test from our gods, and I came through it, and I was rewarded with the clan and kindred that I am a part of now.
Ooh, it gave me
That's
goosebumps.
awesome.
And you came out, you came out like stronger and a badass.
Stronger
and you
and
met
better
all
than
of
ever.
these
Yes,
amazing people,
absolutely.
and
yes,
and I
it was
just-
a journey. It's quite
Yes.
a journey, but that's
You-
that's
you
this,
probably-
that's this path. You ask for it in a big way.
you
You're like,
Right.
probably
test
like
me, bring me the next level. Let me see what's behind this next ridge or around this next corner,
Yes.
and you just have to keep trudging.
and there was
forward,
lots
you know?
of Hagalas probably in readings for you. I would guess there for a while. Maybe Isa and Hagalas, and anyways, those are a couple of different runes. That's what I'm yakking on about here. But you know, knowledge, you know, one thing that my mother always preached, I swear to God I'm going to put it on her tombstone when she's gone, but she always preached knowledge is power. And it's so true because, you know, so many people, what they is scary, what they don't understand or it's just the fear of the unknown, you know.
Good for your mother saying that to her daughter, especially. I mean, all parents should say it to all children. Yes. We started on feminism and all the true.
But yeah, I mean,
our
it's
clan
true.
is super forward thinking. I have like a leadership role in that. Our seer is a part of the LGBTQ plus community. I mean, we're very progressive in that way. Like, women play a huge part, and knowledge is a huge part of that.
Well,
it's like, educate yourself. Don't just rely on what somebody else is telling you. And I feel like that's the problem. I'm not going to get off on this tangent, but I feel like that's a large issue in Christianity. It's this one guy stands in front of this whole congregation and gives his one interpretation of whatever the hell they're talking about.
Right.
And then everyone's just like, okay, and just like eats it up. I'm like, what happened to us like digesting our own information and using that knowledge to better our situations personally?
Yeah, definitely.
And then as a community and then as a group, it's just like, it's kind of sad to see we've just lost that, what you're saying about just
you know, and
power.
One of the girls I met over the weekend, she was like amazing. She was kind of like you, like, you know, every so often you meet these people and they really just, you latch onto them because you just feel this super strong connection. But her and I were talking about how, you know, we were talking about how, like, when, you know, people who are heathen and stuff like that, and, you know, when you guys pass, you know, or not, you know, you leave this world, you know, of the nine of the different realms, like when somebody says, oh, you're going to hell, and you look at them and you're like, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
You know, or like
okay, I'll be right back.
Or the fact, you know, like how everybody's like, oh, I'm going to Valhalla or whatever, and it's like, well, actually, Freya,
I don't want any part of that. Send me to Valhalla, Freya or Freyja. I don't want to be Valhalla.
It's like, isn't
you know
it?
What they do there?
You know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it Freya that gets like first choice on?
Yes.
Yeah, and
yes. Oh man, don't get me started. Women run this shit, you know it.
But anyways, yeah. Well, so you're yes, we will post a link to your website and how anybody
been so fun.
Yes, well, this has been amazing, and I'm so glad you came on, Amber. This is awesome. I'm so glad we met you guys.
We'll have to have you back on again soon, and we can get more in depth with the heathenry aspect of things, and even talk more, you know, give your business a little bit more of the limelight as well. So
sure. And the clan, I know that we're all down to help. So if you need any of us, let us know. Yeah. We love you guys. We support this wholeheartly. The community needs more podcasts about heathenry.
Right,
cool. Yes.
right. Well, it's, you know, it's kind of like, it's not for everybody, but those who it is for, I always believe that it's like whatever path you find.
Oh gosh, it's super important.
It is so important, and we just love you so much. And
I'm so honored to be a part of it. I love you guys too.
Yes, well, love on that baby. Oh my goodness.
I'm about to go love on a few of them and then pop another one out.
I know.
Yeah, right.
I know. And Halloween, right? You do Halloween, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yes. Well, my husband's already talking about number 5 and 6. Can you guys please just shoot me?
Well, I can't really say much because between the two of us, we have 7, Amber, so.
What is wrong with these heathen men? I can't deal. You guys have problems.
Oh my goodness. Well, Amber, this has been great. This has been great. And do you have any?
I love you guys.
Yes, we love you too, and your husband, and everybody that we met that's part of your guys' clan. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes,
part of your
you
clan.
Are. Yeah,
okay.
The Ulfrid kindred, and we're a clan also. Yeah.
I have just been. You guys are so amazing, all of you Jeremiah and I have met, and thank you so much for coming on here and sharing, you know, your tea leaf stuff. And then we're gonna have to have, like he said, we're gonna have to have you back on to talk more about your clan and stuff like that, and more the heathen side of what you do and everything. And so,
okay, well, I'm gonna go memorize the 9 noble virtues and hang out with my kids.
There you go.
Alrighty.
So next time you put me on the spot, I'll have it down. All right, bye guys.
All right, bye.
Bye. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. She's great. Oh
She
my
is.
gosh. I bet she was like all different shades of red when I said that. Not to put you on the spot, but she's great though. Anybody who meets her, I'm sure would say the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Would say the same thing. I think that yep, we're gonna post a link for how to get in touch with her if anybody is interested in a tea leaf reading. And yeah, this has been awesome.
I'll put up her Facebook page and everything else in the video description.
Next Saturday we'll be in Lawrence.
Yeah, we'll be
Next Saturday we'll be in. Well, I don't know if I will be there.
Well, hopefully you will be.
Hopefully I will be, but for sure you will be there.
Yeah, I'll be there doing readings and have a few. A small table worth of our wares to sell at the Village Witch in Lawrence, Kansas. The Village Witch / the Green Goddess, I think, or whatever. It's kind of like two stores in one, I think.
That's awesome.
But yeah, primarily known as the Village Witch, I think, and so yeah, I'll be there doing readings along with Lena Townsend. I think is going to be there, and
well, now I have to go.
And David, Lena's husband, is going to be there with doing Reiki. So
what? Really?
And energy work.
Well, forget the fact you're going to be there. Lena and Dave are going to be
right?
there. I mean, gotta go. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
And there'll be a few other people there. That I think there's usually a CBD oil person there, and there's another guy that makes stone and wire wrap jewelry, and he makes some really cool rune sets too.
Oh, I bet.
So, but yeah, that'll be fun. And then 2 weeks on what is it? I think it's the 9th and 10th?
Are you talking about the
KC Paracon?
Paracon.
Yes, I believe it's on the 9th and 10th of August. We will be in Kansas City again at KC Paracon. Yes, it's the 9th and 10th. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So
have they ever done that before, or is this like the first one?
No, we've never been at. So
there's been like Comic-Cons for a long time.
Oh yeah, no, this is their 8th year running.
Oh, okay, I didn't.
So
I
yeah,
didn't
they've been going
that.
for a while. So
awesome.
Yeah, no, we'll be doing readings and selling some of our divination tools that can be used during paranormal investigations.
Oh Lord, yes.
And some other stuff. We'll have all kinds of cool stuff there, but yeah, that's going to be fun. And
so I want to talk about one more thing before we get off of here.
Yeah.
So over the weekend, what do you feel with anybody that you talked to, or did you get a general sense of a message that was for you from this weekend?
From this weekend?
Yeah. So let me say what I got from it.
Okay.
Everybody that I talked to and every amazing person that gave me a little taste of like the types of healing and energy work and holistic I'll say holistic medicine. I'll say that term that they do. You know, a lot of times when your vendors loosely, yes, loosely, the holistic approach to healing. Okay, my main takeaway from that entire fair was how I need to focus on balance. I need to focus on balancing everything that I'm taking on all the time. Take time for myself to recharge.
Yep.
You know, we are big balls of energy. We get drained, and we need to do self-care and make sure you're doing self-care. It's not just limitless
energy.
Exactly. Make sure you're doing self-care and make sure you're drinking lots of water. And
well, I'd have to say that
it's been a theme for me for a minute, though.
Huh?
That's been a trend.
Yeah,
it's becoming a trend
for
me.
The Spirit's been trying to get that through to you for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd have to say that my takeaway from it all was, if nothing else, it was quit listening to the self-doubt. You know, I have that shirt that says, and I say this laughingly, but I have that shirt that says, "That which doesn't kill me should run." And I need to take on that mindset more and just charge ahead with this is,
Don't doubt yourself.
yeah,
Don't doubt yourself.
because even sometimes the bleakest looking situation, look at what we've been through in the last month and a half. We're not going to get into a lot of detail on that, but
Oh man.
it's been very challenging month and a half, and so
Well, because of outside things.
outside sources, yeah,
Outside sources
and influences
kind of didn't do what they were supposed to do, so then it affected us, and then it really
in a big way.
in a big way. We took quite a blow for something.
Yeah.
But it all worked out.
Yeah, it worked out, and we're back on top, and like this fair, I was really discouraged at the end of the day on Friday because we didn't sell anything, and I didn't do a single reading on Friday, nothing whatsoever. But then Saturday rolled around, and Saturday picked, and then Sunday was probably one of our best days at a fair yet. Period.
Yes, Sherry, who puts that fair on, is amazing, and she wasn't wrong. She takes care of the people that do vendors for her or readers, and she wasn't wrong like that.
Yeah.
That fair was amazing, and we really hope that we can go back to it.
Oh, we have. My understanding is basically an open invitation. So.
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Anyway.
But.
Yeah, I think that's.
Don't doubt yourself, then.
Yeah, that was my big takeaway. So.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, I think, well, let's see here. I just wanted to recap. We've got the Village Witch coming up this coming weekend, and KC Paracon the weekend after that. And I don't remember if
it's either
there's...
Tulsa or Oklahoma City is the end of the month.
But I don't remember if there's something the weekend after Paracon.
I think we're finally going to get a break.
Yeah, we might have a weekend off there. I'm not going to swear by it, but I think we do. And then we're in Oklahoma City on the last weekend of August.
Okay.
So it's going to be a busy month.
It is going to be a very busy month. And school's starting back up.
Oh,
for all the
gosh.
kids. School's starting. And I'm just like blown away because 2 of our kiddos are going to be in 6th grade. 6th grade. And I'm just thinking back to when I was in 6th grade. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to
Middle
the
school was not a good time for me. I hope
Me
it's
neither.
better for these guys.
I
but
know.
yeah. Anyway, we better get off of here. We've been talking long enough. So
No, actually.
it's only 8:27.
Yeah, it
Wow.
seems like we've
Okay.
been on here a lot
Wow.
longer. We're doing good.
Um.
So I want to say this: if anybody has a suggestion of what a type of reader they're curious about or a subject matter they're curious about, feel free to message us, and we'll see what we can do about it.
Yeah.
I have met so many amazing people, and I'm hoping that they all will come on our show.
Oh. Yeah. So
What?
my last reading of the fair.
Oh,
This
oh, my
last
God.
weekend.
I have to say this before you say anything else.
Okay, go
I
for
have
it.
never in my life seen this man sitting next to me say, "Oh my God, I was intimidated as fuck." So he was intimidated by. Go ahead, you tell your story. You tell your story.
I'm sitting there.
This is so amazing because I am just super jealous that I haven't gotten a. Go ahead.
I'm sitting there, and so there's a lady who
I'm fascinated with her.
she's been at almost every fair that we've been at.
She has been at every fair that we've been at.
She travels all over the place. She does, and she is insane, crazy accurate, and she is backed up with a full reading schedule every single time, and it just blows me away. How busy she is. She.
know if a reader is really busy, that's a good sign.
Yes.
That's a good sign.
Yes.
So
it's about 5:30. No, it's about 4:30 yesterday afternoon.
the last day of the fair.
Last day of the fair. We're about a half hour from closing down, and I'm just finishing up a reading, and I look up, and there she is. Her name is Jamie Collins.
Yeah.
And she's standing at my table, and she walks over. I thought she was just going to chat a little bit. Maybe she had a little free time. No, she sits down in the chair and sticks the money out there and says, I want a reading from you.
Well, you just
And I'm like, what?
Did your jaw like drop? Like, whoa.
Well, I tried my very best not to show
and see,
it,
I
but
wasn't,
it
and,
was.
and there's probably a reason why I was not over at the booth when she approached you, because I probably would have like interjected and been like, oh my god, I have been trying. Seriously, every fair that we have gone to, I've wanted to get a reading from her, and I just either at every fair we've gone to, and when I think of it, the moment because I don't really want to go sign up for a time with her, just because since we're vendors, it's really hard to schedule a time to do something,
Right.
because you never know when you're a vendor how busy you're gonna get,
Right,
or when
right.
you're gonna get a break. So, but yes, I've always wanted to go schedule do a reading with her, but I haven't gotten to, because every time I have, like, she's busy. But I know that eventually, when it's the right time, or I get the right message, the right message through her, that she, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. But I'm just like, oh my god, there she's sitting at his booth. That's so cool. That is amazing.
But it was awesome, and I didn't fall apart in front of her or anything. I didn't embarrass myself or us, and I just said, well, okay, have a seat and let's do this thing. And she told me how extensive of a reading she wanted, and we just went from there. And she was really impressed. She really enjoyed the reading, and
That's so awesome.
she enjoyed the way I interpreted the runes. And
she's just great. Like,
Yeah.
any interaction that I've had with her, that we've had with her, she's just seems like just an amazing person.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, she is, because we've been close to her booth at a couple of the fairs that we've gone to, and she just seems so intense.
Yes.
Like, her readings, I mean, she seems like
it was
she
no
is-
less intense yesterday when she was getting a reading.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, she's just...
She was very focused. I like hyper focused on everything, and
That's awesome.
I won't get into the details of what she was asking
right.
about or what came through, but yeah, she was, and it was really cool. I just really enjoyed reading for her. That was really cool.
And it is. It's like you see these people, and you almost, not knowing certain people, you naturally, sometimes you will put people on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Okay? And then when somebody that you've, really put this expectation on, and just, oh my god, it's her, and then she came to get a reading from you.
Right.
How did that make you feel? Other than intimidated
it was cool.
as fuck?
It was cool. She said it was because she well, at the what was it? Was it St. Louis, or was it? It was the last KC Meadow, wasn't it? When after the last night of the fair, and we went and had dinner,
yep, we went to
ended
dinner.
up sitting right next to her.
Yep.
And the other lady, and the other reader that was there as well. They were there, and then we just happened in.
Yeah.
We sat down at the bar and turned around, and oh, hey,
it's her. It's her.
And so,
it's her.
and she's starting to recognize us as familiar faces.
Yeah, because it is, all these fairs that we go and do, there are certain vendors that we see, it's becoming a pattern. It's like they do this, and I mean, God, I wish we could just, I wish this was all we could do, would travel and go to fairs and make stuff, and just, we love this stuff.
One of these
so
days,
much.
maybe that's the goal. We'll
That
see
is
how
the
it
goal.
goes. So, but I just say, just to be perfectly honest about the whole thing. While I was completely blown away that she chose, and honored that she chose to come and get a reading from me, and was absolutely flattered that she is beginning to recognize us as familiar faces. And I can say well enough that she would not take offense to this, but there's not the closeness there that as there is with just certain other people that we've met up with, like Amber, like Alicia this last weekend.
Oh,
like,
Alyssa?
Yes, it just the energy.
Dave.
Lena. Yes, Lena. There's I'm not gonna say that energy
couldn't develop between us and Jamie. It just, it's not there at this point, and it's not coming quite as naturally as.
Well, that is literally the perfect analogy for what you're talking about. Is what I told you that my coworker and I were talking about, and when I said, let's be blunt here, because we were talking about Facebook and we were talking about how she's more private with who she mixes and mingles with work and personal life, and I respect that. And I said, I do have people I work with on my Facebook, but I don't have everybody that I work with on my Facebook.
Right.
And I said, let's be honest here. I won't say her name, but I was like, let's be honest here. You and I are coworkers. We work well together. We get along great. But if you were to leave, or if I was to leave this job, we wouldn't stay in contact. I mean, we wouldn't stay in contact if we saw each other again at some point. We'd be friendly, but I'm not, that's just life. That's just the way that it is, you kind of, and so it's probably a similar, like, hey, if we're at fairs and everything and we see certain people and, hey, how's it going? You were at last fair. Did you have a great fair? Are you having a good time?
Right.
How's the energy? How's your energy? But then you have it happen to where it's like, that if we weren't doing the fair thing, we'd never see people again.
Right.
But there are those few that we really have taken to.
Yeah.
And I have no
the
question.
energy is just undeniable, and the
Oh, yeah.
bond that develops,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, and that is kind of leaning back into what we were talking with Amber about a while ago, is
the
that tribe.
The tribe mentality.
So anyway, I think our time is about up, or it's been up for about 5 minutes actually. So
Well, this has been awesome.
yes, it has.
And so our goal, I just want to throw this out there. So our goal is to put out a post. So like we do these on Mondays. I kind of want our goal to be like, so the following Thursday we'll have a post out about who we're going to have on like for the next podcast or show, or what are we calling it? A podcast, a show?
It's a live a streaming video show is what I'm calling. It's not really a podcast. It's not we could call it a YouTube show, but most of our viewership is on Facebook, and so I don't know.
Well,
I don't really know what to call it.
Our
but
next entertaining hour
it's
for
fun.
you guys. Our next entertaining hour plus for you guys next Monday. So yeah, by Thursday is when I want to have figured out who we'll have on next.
I sent an invitation to someone a while ago, but I can't. I don't want to say yay or nay until I hear back from them for sure. So
okay. All right, cool. Well, yep, so check that out. Like I said, we'll post Amber's stuff on there in case anybody's curious about it. And then I encourage curiosity.
Yeah.
I encourage, that's a mouthful. Encourage curiosity. So, that's all I have for this fantastic Monday night.
All right. So yes, we will be back next Monday night at 7:30 Central Standard Time. We will announce our guest and topic for that show coming up on Thursday. And in the meantime, you guys have a great week. Be safe out there, and don't be afraid of the dark. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.